be my favourite type of forest. Look at that, so dense. I'm just going to park round the corner here. We have arrived. Slightly busier than usual, and we're going to be heading into that forest or woods over there. Lovely day for it. So yeah, just got the day bag on at the moment. Don't want to be lugging all my gear around trying to locate a spot. So yeah, just the bare essentials for the time being. Absolutely no signal around here though. Gives me a bit of time to really unwind and relax, not distracted by the phone. Looks like some really nice flat ground down there. See, someone else has had a fire, but yeah, that's really flat. I'm going to bear that spot in mind for the way back. As for now, I'm going to carry on walking up here. But that just looks too steep up there. Let's keep looking. This is cool. I love stuff like this. Little random quirky waterfalls. It almost looks man-made. This is the flat area that I was talking about, so let's go for a little walk down here. Just want to try and stick out the way as much as I can from people. There's the fire that someone's had. That is a perfect bit of flat ground. It's just too close to the pathway. Not that I've seen anyone down here, but it's just a little bit too close to the pathway for my liking. Let's keep going a bit further. Now, don't get me wrong, I love views from top of peaks and mountains and stuff like that, but this scenery to me is just as nice. I just find it so peaceful. The sound of the running water, and like I say, these pine forests have got to be my favourite type. This is a bit more like it, off the beaten track. Just followed through these trees here, and over there looks pretty good. Right, so far this is the spot for me. Nice and flat. There's a little fire pit going for me already. Someone's been nice enough to leave a little seat as well. So, oh, and a bit of coal is that. And a bit of coal. It's like someone knew I was coming. For now, that spot is going to be the one for the night, I think. Plenty of fallen trees in this area. Look at the sun through there. Another piece of flat ground there, but again, it's just too close to this main path. Keep going for a bit more, because sometimes you think you found a spot, or the best spot, you carry on going, and then an even better spot will arise. So yeah, keep going for a bit longer. It looks like we're nearing the end of this part of the forest, so let's head back. I'm going to walk back on the opposite side of the river in case there's any other little spots that are hidden out the way. So yeah, let's cross the river here and jump over that side. I'm so glad that wherever we are tonight, We're next to some water. I love the sound of the water at night, trickling away as you're trying to go to sleep. Right, I've decided on that second spot, was it? I think we saw. Seems the best place out the way, off the beaten track, nice flat ground. It's already got the fire pit there for me with a chair and some coal. Not a million miles away from the car, so I'm just heading back there now and get cracking. I'll catch up with you guys when we're back at the spot. So yeah, first thing when we get to the spot, obviously take this heffing great bag off and go and get some firewood for the night, I think, before it gets dark. I haven't brought any of my own firewood with me today because, well, it's pretty obvious. We're surrounded by the stuff. Should be able to find, well, plenty of dead branches and logs and stuff on the floor. We are approaching the spot now, so I'll see you when we get there. I'm going to cross this river here and we're going to camp just inside here. No one should be able to see us in there. Perfect little spot if you ask me, and the sun is still shining. Right, let's get across this then. These green rocks are so slippery. You've got to be so careful when crossing these, especially if you're on your own, because the last thing you want is fall back, crack your head open and no one's around to see you. There's our little chair for tonight, little fire pit. No pathway through here, so no one's gonna disturb us this way, and no real pathway through there, so no one's gonna disturb us that way. Probably set the tent up there because that's the flattest piece of ground. Not too far from the fire, but again not too close that the embers are gonna blow off the fire and onto the tent. That's the last thing we'd want. So yeah, just make sure your tent is always a safe distance from the fire. So yeah, this is it, guys. I'm gonna get this bag off and yeah, start collecting some firewood for the evening. This is the perfect sort of kindling to start your fires with. You can hear how dry that is. So this is the camp. Fire's there. I'm going to put my tent there, like I said earlier, because that's the flattest piece of ground, but just a bit of wind hitting me. So I think I'm going to block up this area here and potentially try and block here. But most of the wind is coming through that gap there, so I'm going to try and block that up a little bit as best I can using the resources around here. So all I'm doing here is trying to make a sharp point on the end, just so it's easier to stake into the ground. I think that might do us. Should act as a little windbreak, a little bit more cover from, you know, if anyone happens to walk past there. But yeah, let's see if we can get a couple more bits just to complete that. That's blocked this area out from the wind now, and anyone walking past, which we shouldn't get, hopefully. I've managed to move this tree in the way to block this rear exit, because there was still quite a lot of wind coming through there. Now I've got that sorted out, I'm going to collect some firewood because I haven't got around to that bit yet. Collected that really dry kindling to start with. Now we've got the firewood collected, I'm going to sit down and have a look at starting to make some bread, or prepare the dough for making some bread on the fire a little bit later on. I'm prepping for a venison steak roll or sandwich. Hopefully the bread turns out alright, but we'll see. There we have our dough ball. I'm going to leave that to rest for 5 minutes and then start kneading it, and then I'll just leave it resting again until we're ready to cook. How could I forget? I've forgotten to write where we went, where we cooked the mussels. St Mawes near Falmouth. And seeing as we're here, Snake Woodland, been here before, so why don't we make this a little tally chart now. So I just had a bit of a scare with the weather, suddenly went really black. Quickly set my tent up just in case it did start hammering down. That's what I love about this tent as well. One, the pitch time is very quick, very easy. Two, it's a stealthy colour, so you know, in this situation I've had to set up a little bit quickly, a little bit earlier than we first wanted to, but we've got a good chance they're still not going to see the tent. I'm going to go over the other side of the river just to show you guys whereabouts we're plotted up, and see what we can see from the other side. We are through here. And there's our camp through there. There's the little wall that I built out of the branches for the windbreak. I'm not sure if you can just see my tent through there. But you know, if that was a bright blue colour, like some of these tents are, or white, or yellow, that's going to stick out like a sore thumb. But because it's green and camouflaged, obviously, just gives us that extra measure that we're not going to get seen by any passers-by. So, these are the venison steaks, fresh Somerset deer, and this is the not sure how this is going to turn out, whether it's going to turn out into a roll or a small loaf of bread. But yeah, my plan is to have a venison sandwich slash roll. Just want to wait for the sun to go down a bit more before we get the fire going. I'm going to chuck a few more sticks on, let them go down to the hot ashes, and then we'll get the bread on the go. So I'm ready to spread these coals out now for the pot to go on. Got my heat-proof glove on, as always. Gonna sit that on there. I'll check it in about 20 minutes or so, see how we're getting on. It's been about 20 minutes now since the bread was put on, so I'm going to take it off now. Let's see what this bread looks like then. I have no idea what to expect. Come on, fingers crossed. Whoa, oh, it's a bit burnt on the bottom, but for a first go, look at that. Oh, I might have to cut the bottom off because it's a little bit burnt, but I'm going to leave that to rest. But that's looking good for a first go, look. And it smells like a bakery out here. It actually smells like a bakery. I've just chucked a little bit more wood on the fire. I'm going to let them turn white and we'll start cooking the venison. So I burnt the bottom of the bread a little bit, so I've cut it off, but at least I know for next time to wait till the fire's gone down a bit more so there's less heat. Stick some butter on there. I reckon they're nearly done. Get them off, let them rest for a bit. Look at that. That is cooked to perfection. How juicy that is. Right then, let's have a go at this. I've got the buttered bread, lovely bit of venison steak. Let's try it. That is so tender. Yeah, you need to look at this. Look how tender that venison there is. Out in the wilderness, eating like a king. My word, have I eaten good tonight. I can't believe how well that bread actually come out for a first time, apart from the burnt bottom, like I said. It was soft, spongy. Anyway, I'm gonna get myself to bed. I'll see you in the morning for a nice morning coffee. Yeah. Well, good morning. Actually had a really good sleep last night. Managed to fall asleep pretty easy. 8.5 hours. So yeah, all in all, a good sleep. Fire seems to have all burnt down as well. So yeah, perfect. Just gonna chill out for a bit, probably make a coffee, and then get ready to leave. We're all packed away nice and early. Bags there, tent was there, fire's all burnt out. So yeah, walk back to the car and then hit the road. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one anyway. Where will it take us? got a couple of ideas in mind, nothing set in stone yet, but yeah, really excited to get back out again.